Happy New Year. Thank you for listening and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'd like to have a look ahead in 2022. What do the cosmic themes say? Even though the world is so chaotic right now, there is an enormous amount of light moving onto the planet. And if we can be consciously stay in our hearts and embrace love rather than fear, we can open the doors to higher consciousness. We are in for surprises and changes this year. It is important to remember that on the 3D level or conscious reality, we are in the breakdown of the old regime and we are experiencing the death throes. And the past rules don't apply anymore. It could be a year of extremes. And Timothy Halloran is an astrologer, and he calls 2022 the year of soul, death, and resurrection. Because it's so transformative. Astrologically, we're still dealing with the major theme of a global crisis in consciousness. And this is a major theme of last year. And what it is a third quarter square, which means it's coming from three quarters of the square. Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. And Saturn is about restructuring. It's our sense of limitations and restrictions. It binds, restricts, limits, controls, brings to form and manifest. And it wants control and authority, and Uranus is a liberator, and it's about breaking free of restrictions. So we have the freedom, control issues going on. And Saturn will be in Aquarius all year. And this is a planet that challenges us. So it represents whatever you sow, you shall reap. And Aquarius is a humanitarian, brotherly love. It's the rebel and genius energy. Uranus and Taurus is kind of an oxymoron because Taurus doesn't like change and Uranus wants to revolutionize and break free of everything. So this is the battle that's going on. And Uranus will go direct in January 18th. It's been retrograde for a while. And it will stay there until August 12th. So there's a really forward movement, positive change. And we have Uranus will be conjunct the North Node on July 31st, which is revolution energy and the path of integration. So this symbolizes that there going to be some progress and change in visionary forms. And Taurus rules the food and the securities and the sense of being at home and that safety, security energy. And what's happening is that the food prices are going to, I think, continue to rise, as well as the supply chain shortages. But one of the main themes of this year is that everybody's looking at the United States, all eyes on the U.S., because we're having our first Pluto return. And a Pluto return happens every 248 years. And what this is look at what happened when we started. As a country, we began because of taxation and debt and taxation without representation was the theme. And so we're dealing with that now, in a sense. This is Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is in the second house of finances and value systems. And what this is it's like a dark night of the soul for the United States. And, what affects us affects the world. And so Pluto is death, power, underworld, rebirth, cathartic transformation. And it brings up all that we, that needs to be released. And many of us are, concerned about our democratic ideals right now. And so all that is corrupt, all that is hidden will come to the surface. And it hits us 3 times this year. February 9th, 20th, July 11th, and December 28th. So this is a major time of regeneration. And Capricorn rules structures, big business, government, top-down authority, and what we can expect big changes in leadership, banking, economic systems, legal power power struggles. Freudian slip there. We need to reinvent ourselves and our values as a nation. So when France had its Pluto return, that's when Napoleon died. And in Russia, it was Stalin's death. And in Spain, Franco relinquishes power. So it tends to be a time of power shifting. At this very same time, the U.S. will also be experiencing a Neptune, opposed Neptune, transiting Neptune in Pisces, opposing Neptune in Virgo. And it's from the 3rd house, which is communications, day-to-day connections, opposing the higher mind and legal systems. And Neptune opposed Neptune is all this illusion and delusion that we're having. It represents spirituality and also creativity too. But basically what we're dealing now is that we don't know what's real and what's not. And the last time this happened was 1850, and that brought the Civil War. So we do have a very, it's an ununited states right now, very divided world. So again, it brings up all that is underneath the revelations and surprises coming up from the unconscious. We have Jupiter tomorrow, I think, moving into Pisces, and this is exalted place, and this could indicate a rebirth of the feminine and the spiritual values. And it's the greatest blessing is that it's not really things, but it's that loving, compassionate, forgiving, healing connection to our true self of who we really are. And Jupiter will be conjunct with Neptune in its own sign in April. And this is a wonderful alignment, which is highly intuitive and highly idealistic. But it could bring water issues like flooding, extreme weather. But it's calling us to simplify and to clear the clutter and get in touch with our spiritual nature. And it will be into Pisces until May 5th. And then May 5th, it will go into Aries, and this is more of a enterprising, individualistic, I gotta do my thing kind of energy. And then October, until October 27th, and then it goes back into Pisces. And so this may mean more, different leadership and more in entrepreneurship. So one of the biggest things also that we're having very soon is on January 18th, we're moving our nodal axis. This is kind of like the pulse of society. What's happening. We've been in mutable intellectual Gemini and Sagittarius. So one is the north node, one is the south node. It's called Rahu and Ketu in Vedic. And what that is the north node is more the path of integration or what you're bringing toward. The south node is what you've already accomplished, what you bring from the past, and also the path of least resistance. So we're moving out of this mutable intellectual thing into Taurus and Scorpio, fixed earth, water, deep probing. Again, the question is, what are we doing to take care of everybody's needs? And 22 brings in up upheaval of values. We got Taurus, second house, Taurus, values, Uranus and Taurus, nodals in Taurus. So this is all, and this is all about, you know, how we exchange love in a way that comes from our heart. And it shows that we're dealing with the death of the old, the Scorpio energy, and building something new. The two eclipses that are from the end of April to mid-May, and then the end of October to the beginning of November, will be in these signs of Taurus and Scorpio. And eclipses emphasize this energy of rebuilding and letting the old go, and brings massive change. Venus is retrograde right now in Capricorn at this time in the beginning of the year, and it will connect with Pluto 3 times. So there's a regeneration and death, rebirth, transformation of relationships right now. Again, Venus, second house. We are to question our core values and lay the foundation of relationship and share resources in a new way. We are to love more consciously, which I call lunar love. I mean, consciously is called solar love. Solar love is I love you, therefore I let you be you. I trust whatever you want, and I allow you to, I want what you want. Lunar love is that symbiotic relationship of a mother and a baby, and it's needy, and I'll give to you if you give to me. I fulfill your needs if you fulfill mine. So it's that whole sense of redefining and freeing up our relationships. And Venus and Mars are going to be conjunct in the heavens for 3 months in the last 3 signs of the zodiac. The universal signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and that's from February to April. And this is enormous creative potential. It brings a renewal of energy and how we align with relationships. Venus is our magnetism, our love nature. It's how we share and reciprocate. Mars is our energy, drive, how we go out and get what we want. So when we have this energy, there'll be a new way of relating, a new way of dealing with resources, but it definitely juicy energy of relationship this year. We have a Mars retrograde in October at the end of the year to go till January 12th, and that's in the sign of Gemini, and that deals with our thinking. So resurging and resurfacing of people and the way of thinking things. But during this retrograde, we also are to reconsider. All retrogrades bring an inward redoing, reconsidering, and we could feel some blocks at the end of the year. Numerologically, this is a 6 year, and a 6 year is also has to do with reinventing ourselves, taking responsibility for your relationships. Is about being more self-reliant, finding our place in the world. There is magnetism, sexuality, emphasis on matters of the heart, and as well as financial matters and survival. That's again Taurus energy. In the Chinese system, our new year is the water tiger, and from February 1st to January 31st of 2023, we have the themes of power, strength, prestige, bravery, restlessness, loneliness. The tiger doesn't get along with other animals, and there's getting things out, like a extortion of evils and energy like that. And water has to deal with life and the emotions and learning to flow. So we're in for a ride this year. If we stay tuned into our spiritual values, we can see that all that is happening is for a greater good. We need just to follow some simple guidelines can really help us this year. And and not be pulled into the drama of what's going on in the world. We need to stay in our hearts and be in the love vibration and turn off the news and trust that this is purposeful, that this pandemic, this power struggles that we do, even these strong personalities politically, all have a purpose in that it's bringing up all that needs to be resolved. And for me, the archetype of the goddess warrior on the hero's journey holds the keys to transformation and awakening. The goddess tells us to love and to accept what is. If we stay in that loving and accepting what is, life works, and it's a trusting with a compassionate heart. The warrior says, be diligent, intentional, and be willing to stay present. It's that being accountable and determined to do the work, whatever it takes. The hero's journey is based on Joseph Campbell's work from The Hero with 1,000 Faces, and basically it is a step-by-step process to awaken. And it's to this higher consciousness. It's about separating from the past and answering the call to greater spiritual life. We follow 6 initiations, and the first 2 I gave you already, which is the hero, the Venus, and the warrior. The love and allow, and be accountable for your time, attention, and intention. And the main one is be proactive. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And also give up control, struggle, and drama. I have to, surrender to the divine and allow. I've offered this work to the divine and trust that I will be guided to share. And then main thing, make life sacred. This is holy land, and this is a sacred place. And embody the change you want to see in the world. So this is my message for 2021. Wish you a happy and spiritually infused new year with many blessings. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.